Beloved, you know we like to start at the beginning. You tell me it's always the best place to start. So let me dig deep to show my sincere gratitude, appreciation for another Tuesday afternoon of information and enlightenment, naturally and deliciously flavored by Amsterdam ice cream. Yes, beloved, as always, at the half past three, that is the time when beautiful Aisha takes center stage and she gives me the instructions to come up with the crucial history question because the correct answer she herself would complement with a full quart of your favorite flavor of abstract ice cream. I was say, beloved, you can't beat that, not even that black one will stick in your hand. But today, beloved, yes, we have been doing all we can and will continue to do everything we can to work with Mr. Michael Henry, better known to us all as a physicist, as he endeavors to get us on board to understanding how the concept of waste energy is actually a theory that should be put in place right here in our system to make us even more affordable and more reliable as we try our best to do all we can to improve our situation with that infamous authority called water and power. Well, beloved, this Tuesday is an exception. Yes, indeed. We have been informed that the Horse Racing Association has urgent news to inform the population, specifically the Crucian population that has been well, in a not too pleasant predicament for too many years now with horse racing. And so we are finding ourselves forced to set aside the WAPA discussions for this Tuesday so that we could make room to accommodate the Housemen Association and the information that they urgently want to share with our beloved audience. So, on or about 1 o'clock, the top of the hour, we are expecting to have the privilege of hosting the Housemen Association to be thoroughly informed as to just what is the situation with horse racing in the Virgin Islands, and more specifically, because that's what it's all about, more specifically, horse racing on the St. Croix. That's what we all want to hear about. And beloved, we can't wait. So, not too long from now, top of the hour, we will be hearing from the Housemen Association. And we will all have the opportunity to listen and, as always, call in and make your contributions or ask your questions. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, so I heard the horse kind of supposed to be on, but I wanted to touch base with you on a different subject. An article that came out in the news last week.
Please.
So they did a long-term, large study on the effects of cell phones in the schools for children. They looked at 4,600 schools who use a system which they can verify that the children didn't have cell phones. So like the pouches where they put them in the pouches and so the children don't have access, or anything along those lines where the cell phones are not accessible by the children. And they said they found it a surprising result. They found, so they went over here and they looked at the children's grades and their test scores, standardized testing, and they found absolutely no difference. And that was surprising to them. They expected that for them to improve, but they didn't. I wasn't surprised because I know that the children, if they're not on the phone, they're going to find you take the phones away. They want to want to listen and pay attention. They're just not going to listen and pay attention. You take away the phone and they'll doodle with their hands or they'll find something else to get their attention. So, I didn't expect them to improve because of this. What did improve, which I expected, was the mental health things. Depression, anxiety went down. Because they're not being bullied, they're not being going on Facebook and on Instagram and all these other things while they're in school. They get at least a 6 hour or so reprieve from these things. And so their mental health improves. So there is some plus to it, which I expect. But and I talked on Cincinnati show yesterday, and in that the topic came up that the thought came to me. We need to teach the young people how to use cell phones responsibly because they're going to graduate, go to work, and they're going to have cell phones. And the school is the prime place to teach them the etiquette of it. And we do this for other things. have the ability to drive it safely, to get a license to drive. And the cell phone has its own dangers. So we shouldn't just be handing our children the box and let them open up the box and go off and use it with no kind of guidance. And some parents aren't going to be able to do it for themselves, as we know. So that's where the schools come in. The schools catch the children whose parents or the church or whatever, the community, didn't get, and teach them how to be a good citizen. And we can't do this if we take the cell phones away from them while they're in school.
I agree with much of what you're sharing with us here, but I also would like to be excused if I think that we are missing the central point, which is that we're talking about education, or we're talking about cell phones.
Education.
Well, if we're talking about education, for instance, just as you pointed out, and you said studies have shown this, as a matter of fact, is that the content of our education system as a formal source of education for our community is desperately failing its task. I mean, let me ask you just straight up. I mean, please tell me, how many of our students, Virgin Islands wide, public schools, private schools, parochial schools, between kindergarten and 12th grade, how many students do you think it even adds up to a percentage that could give us a paragraph explaining what is an unincorporated territory? You laugh, but see here, just a paragraph, and like I said, all the students in the entire population of Virgin Islands. And I said, it will not even amount to a percentage to say, well, 1/10 of 1%. No, zero, because it is not relevant. It is colonial education, and it concentrates on what makes us very good second-class students.
Yeah. But even worse, I don't think most of them can give a paragraph on how the cell phone they have in their hand works.
But there you go.
The thing that they die if they can't have, they always on it.
There you go.
Never get you understand anything about it.
There you go.
And so definitely they ain't gonna know about
that's just it. This system is failing us. And this is the reason that our students, are hungrily, like, in a desert trying to find water. They're hungrily trying to find something to quench their curiosity for information.
But see, that's even that. I was just about to get to that. A lot of them are not curious. They're not curious about anything.
Well, this has died. By the time they got to the 3rd grade, that any thirst that they had for information died.
Yep.
Somewhere between kindergarten and 3rd grade, it died.
Like you used to see on TV and movies, the children asking why.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I've ever heard somebody ask that, other than if you tell them they can't go out to a party. That's the point.
There you go. That's it. That's it. That's what makes you relevant as a physicist. That's why, and that's why we pay attention. When we hear the physicist is going to this, he's going to that, He's going to talk about this. He's going to talk about that. Yes, you know, because that touches the quick of our curiosity.
I don't know what happened, but somehow we have managed to kill the curiosity of our children.
Yes,
So they're not curious about the place they live in and what their circumstances are. They just get up and they grab their phone, get dressed, and go.
that's it.
They don't ask questions about anything
That's it.
unless it's so they want to go to a party and stuff, and you tell them no. And even when they at that point, they're really not curious as to why. They just trying to get them to go.
They,
I,
yes,
I, I don't know what, and I was just last week. It came to me. I was like, what is curiosity? Why are some people curious about what is going on around them, and why other people just don't seem to care whatsoever?
yeah,
And I think there's more people who just don't care.
yeah.
And somehow we have passed that on to our children. Our children are not curious about the world they find themselves in.
No, no. Like I said,
And
we kill their curiosity early because
yes,
we are much more concerned in having domesticated children than educated children.
yeah,
We want to be able to control them and hey, and like in our
yeah.
colonial situation, if we can keep them from harming tourists, harming white people, hey, we're good to go.
Stay in the corner, be quiet on your cell phone
All
or
right.
your iPad. We are happy.
Yes,
And that's a terrible thing.
it is. All right.
Jewish children are hard to raise. They get into trouble, they
Yes.
get into things, and so it takes more effort to raise a curious child.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yes. But I gotta let you go. They've got a big day and they put on me here and let me get this other call and do this. But looking forward to talking some more with you.
Right, right.
Okay.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you?
Thank you for your call and thank you for your patience. Welcome, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to inquire. I think I heard about 2 weeks or so ago, a gentleman had called and said a logo wasn't doing too well. Have you heard anything about M6?
No, I have not. I asked one person that I knew from St. Thomas and says, no, that's news to me. And no, I think he are it. You know, and I guess that quenched my curiosity there. But no, I have not heard anything, you know, concerning illness with logo. No.
Okay. Well, at any rate, I would appreciate it if you could play the logo song. I don't know if you still have it around.
No,
The anthem.
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right, then. I'll get back to you later.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we're talking horse racing today.
So I heard, yes. Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you. Alrighty. Yes, beloved. We are looking forward to being thoroughly informed of our status as the horse racing capital of the Virgin Islands because, I mean, however you might want to view this situation, I think you will still end up with the conclusion that horse racing has centered in the Virgin Islands for, I think it was around the year 1904. And I was before World War One, before we were the U.S. Virgin Islands, when we were still the Danish West Indies. Horse racing was taking place right here at St. Croix. And it has been an integral part of our social and cultural fabric for, well, as many generations as we have had Armstrong ice cream, you know, so that it has been Well, rather, I miss for I don't know how many years it's been now, but I guess that's a question that we could have answered momentarily. But for however many years we have not had horse racing at St. Croix, beloved, it has been sorely missed to the point where, well, I was a horse racer myself, own horse racing. Rudy Schulterbrand was my trainer. And so I was definitely as addicted to horse racing as many people still are. And we're looking forward to being informed here today. So, whole train, beloved, we are going to be right back with a whole lot of relevant information. So, lick your cream. The Samsung ice cream, beloved, is just so good for your soul.
my debut.
We are back,
Then you have nothing.
and beloved, what we got is more news that can fill up any basket. I don't tell you, one when we come together, we can fill up any size basket, and we hit together today. And beloved, I want to turn you over to Craftsmen Association. Mr. is President, the Craftsmen Association. Yes, right. Good afternoon, and talk to us because people are hungry for information. They're desperate for hash racing and St. Croix. They want to know what's going on. Why hash running this Thomas? What happened to St. Croix? This is supposed to be the capital of hash racing in the Virgin Islands. What's going on? Talk to us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mario Moorhead. Good afternoon, listening audience. I'm Elroy Bates Jr., President of the Flamboyant Park Craftsmen Association. And this afternoon, we came up here to speak with Mr. Moorhead about the recent bill that was sent down to the legislature that everybody knows about. So we're here on behalf of the Craftsmen Association to speak on this bill.
Well, we need to hear from you as the Craftsmen Association. Have you read the bill? Have you made yourself familiar with the bill? Do you approve of the bill? Do you want to make changes to the bill? Is it satisfactory to you? Are you willing to go along with it? Do you want changes? Talk to us, man. We want to hear.
Okay, Mr. Moorhead. Right now, this bill, as if anybody read it, you know it has two parts. The hash racing side and the Racino side. We are here to speak about the hash racing side. Like you said, you wonder if we approve. We don't approve of all of the things in this bill. No, we don't. Last week, Tuesday, can't remember the date, we met with the Senate, some of the members of the Senate. I think it was seven members of the Senate. Tuesday evening, we had a meeting with them. And we went over with the senators what we don't like about this bill. And we had a very good discussion with the senators. So they were listening, they took their notes, we took down our notes, and that ended very good. Now,
Wait, so let me interrupt you. When you said that ended very good, meaning what? That you agree with the bill?
No.
What do you mean when you said it ended very good?
The senators took their notes and they were going to review the bill along with what we said that we don't like. And
yes, and
they want to meet with the government and Mr. Bobby Huckabee of Southland Gaming. They need to have a conversation with them there to change some of the things in the bill. Because some of the things have to be changed.
Well, no, that is something I want to get into. Let me hear and understand you good. Because some of the things have to be changed. That's why here.
That's why we're here.
Let me start there now. Because we need to know what holding this up. If there wasn't anything wrong with it, if there wasn't anything that needed to be changed, all we had needed would have been 10 minutes on the radio to say, hey, Mario, everything good, man. And all we just come out here to tell you yourself that we got to go. And just like they said, we're going to go racing by Christmas. So we got to go. But that is not the case. The things I don't agree with. And so like I said, let us start there. What is the issue? What is the problem? What is the disagreement?
Mr. Moorhead.
Yes, identify yourself.
Mr. Knight, a board member. Mr. Knight is speaking as a board member.
1 minute before Mr. Knight gone. Okay, I have I'm Elroy Bates, President. I have Marcus Knight, Vice President, Mr. Randall Chook Knight, Board Member, and Mr. James Bates, Board Member. I just wanted to identify,
Well done, well done, well done. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
We're not
so-
TV here.
Yes.
Mr. Mohed, the association, Mr. Bates, Mr. Knight, the president and vice president, met with the governor with this bill. When they met with the governor and they showed the governor as to what's going on and what the Hasman them does receive with the percentage of the live racing agreement and the franchise agreement. During that meeting, I didn't attend. The two of them attend because I don't go in government house. And they had told them, don't allow me in when I was going to a meeting. So you do meeting one time. So to that meeting, when I saw them, I asked them what happened. They said the governor got up and walked out on them, which was disrespectful on my behalf because they stated to him that what he's bringing to them, they would rather be without. Got up and said, you are from St. Croix. Now, when you read the bill and you look at the bill, right? Yes, we want horse racing, but at what cost? At what cost? Because they have a cost in this. Okay? I understand you have people who works in these hotels, but these are the same hotels that had opportunity to run horse race in this Virgin Island, BB and Caravel, VIGL. They are the same people. Now, I feel for the employees that are here. Now, here it is, we have an opportunity to get a promoter coming. When the promoter coming now, it has some situation inside the bill where it's bigger than us. Okay, because here it is, these people are pushing to get additional building in St. Thomas built. They are
They
putting
call
a,
them entertainment
Center.
centers.
they are telling us 800,000. We run 12 races a year. 12 races a year at minimum at 100,000 is $1.2 million. Here it is, the Hasman Association sat, and we agree we will take a base force of $1 million. Okay? With our percentage coming from the machines and everything. But these things, because in any court of law, these things stands in black and white. Okay? What amount we was told they will give us $1 million. We don't have it in.
So what about, because it is not in a contract.
It's not in the contract. It's not there. Because they had up to 800,000, but then they take out the up to, and they said 800,000. Okay? Mr. Mohed, when you look at the deal, we had 3 promoters before. And this deal, they can give us the Hasman from Singapore. We want races, but you're going to have to come a better deal. So I personally feel, because this bill got forward to the Senate, it could only vote up or down. I think Mr. Huckabee and whoever else involved need to take this bill and go over it, and let's get all the measures correct and everything in black and white, and let's bring it forward again. Don't let's vote it down and kill it. Because we are not for killing it.
In
But-
other words, basically, we you say, Mr. Knight, from your perspective, they could only say yes or no.
You know what I mean?
And you feel it is best to put it back,
And
make the necessary changes
changes,
that pleases everybody,
everybody,
especially St. Croix.
Croy.
This is what this is about, St. Croix.
Exactly.
And then you let the legislature say yes or no.
Exactly.
But you ain't ready for that move right now. We got to make some changes.
Some changes that have to be made. And
Everybody agree with that? That some changes have to be made. Well, that's the situation right there.
because if you go forward how it is, the bill going die. You know, the bill going die. And we don't want it die because when we can get an opportunity to see our next promoter. I understand that the people them complaining, Synchro vote for Casino, yes. You know, like we was told it can take 2 to 2.5 years for a gaming investigation to be completed. When we met with the gentleman, we make it clear to him, all of us was in the meeting, that if they allow your Vienna tree terminal to Synchro, it is going to only be regulated to run that James Reese track, not to no other place. You know, we have Senate. Huh?
Racino
Yes.
and the truck.
Yes, only there they will be allowed. Nowhere else on the island. You know, so now we have senators saying, oh, what about the taxis? What about the workers? Yeah, we concerned about it, but you know, they have to work that part out, like Mr. James Bates said. It's for they to work out.
And that makes sense. And I was you looking out for what is in the interest of
The best
rehabilitation
interest for
and
the
St.
house.
Croix.
Exactly.
All the other matters they dealing with.
Because
But you looking out for what is in the interest of St. Croix as racing.
because
And that's what we're talking about.
Because when you read it, they can be getting new buildings out in St. Thomas. Now, I would like to see the St. Thomas husband them be treated right also, but I am dealing with St. Croix.
Right.
I raise horses in St. Thomas.
Right.
But we want to make sure everything is in place and we are taken care of. And in the court of law, black and white stand up anyway, not word of mouth. So all these things needs to be tweaked and thing, and that's what happened. The bill need to pull back and straighten everything up.
But again, it looked to me like we got some agreement here and we're making progress. Because what I get in clearly is that the bill as it currently set up is not satisfactory to St. Croix as racing
Exactly.
people.
And that's right.
They want changes.
Exactly.
They don't want to kill it.
No, we don't want.
So don't want the bill to go in front of the legislature where they only have a binary choice. Yes or no. And then you got to start all over again. No. You want to pull it back because in your view, it is not yet ready. It is not satisfactory to have racing at St. Croix.
Because
And you want to pull it back to make it satisfactory to have racing at St. Croix. And then give it to the Senate then today to approve.
because Mr. Moel, when you look at it also, and you look at the individual, them that are sitting negotiating, they have no knowledge of horse racing. They might have knowledge of business,
Right.
but you have to have someone that have knowledge of horse racing.
But well, this is right now, but
And-
that's what you are doing. That
And
as racing is your thing.
and they need to sit and update with someone that have the knowledge with horse racing. You know,
Well, we're gonna take our first break here now with the pilot and coming right back. But again, this is all about that ice cream that you can't beat that even with a black water stick. Lick your cream, because some ice cream is good for your soul. We're back, beloved. And yes, indeed. And now I have the distinct privilege of introducing the man that really got out better than attorney. We're talking about Mr. James Bates.
And they say one wonderful basket.
You understand?
Yeah.
You hear it?
Yes.
So, beloved,
We got to take our time
take your time
and fix this
and
deal properly.
let us pay attention.
And good
As we
afternoon,
listen to
St.
Mr.
Croix,
James
good
Bates.
afternoon, Virgin Islands, and who listening out there. I want to explain a little history of the different promoters that used to run the racetrack before. Back in the 90s, we had a company by the name of Vorco. And Vorco was out of Philadelphia Park. Their manager was, I think, a guy named Joey. Well, anyhow, Joey and the Hasman Association and government had a little fallout. And they used to do international betting, which back in them time, they didn't have much internet and things like that. So they used to do phone betting, and you could call and bet on different races through the world. Used to make a lot of money. And things didn't went right to them, and they pay a fine and they left. Then we got in touch with DP and them, and they took a look at the deal that Vorco had in the past, and they said, well, what? We could make this thing work. And come to find out, they had signed a 10-year live racing agreement with the Hasman at that time. And that 10 years was 20,000. I hearing something in the background. 20,000 per race day, right? We had 14 race days, but every year it used to go up until we reached 48,000 for the 10 years, right? And Trasco realized in the first couple years they couldn't do the international betting anymore. So they start to apply for Racino down at the racetrack because the international betting, something I was wrong with that, and they could have only do local betting. And with the local betting, it wasn't enough to sustain the live racing agreement and everything, and maintain the track and pay the rent and different things. Again, a background and something. Anyhow, with the Racino deal, they went to the senators and they got a Racino license, and the Horse Racing Association, like the Hasman Association, was getting a percent of every dollar the Racino make. And they had 32 little machines inside a little room down there, and they used to make over $5 million a year and things like that. But with that, for them Racino, them slot machines at the racetrack, they started to affect the casino up by BB, and they start losing money. Their deal was to bail out the whole Randall Duck James racetrack. That was a signed deal they had with the government and everything. And they started to play around and say they don't need this, they don't need that, they don't want to build out. And when the 10-year reached with the Hasman Association, they had the handle now because they had another 10 years tie up already with the libraries, with the franchise agreement and the lease. So they had the handle at that time. So we right now do not want to make that mistake going down the road with this deal at the end of the table. So anyhow, Trasco deal to get the Racino. When they did the Racino deal, the Senate passed the law that in order to run the Racino, you have to own a hotel and casino. So you see, they own the casino East End, which we had to vote for that, right? So this casino that they had up there was losing money because the Racino was competing with them. The Racino have to pay way higher more taxes than the regular casino. You see, they have to maintain the track, they have to pay rent, they have to pay light bill, they got to pay the passes, and we were getting a percent. So they figured they were losing. So now at the 10 years they start to play hardball with me. And then the Hasman then was talking to another company by the name of VIGL, and they went and applied for a casino license and everything. The casino law the casino last year was supposed to build a hotel from scratch in order to run a casino. How was it?
So it's good so far.
Good,
Very
right.
good.
This company, VIGL, they was allowed to buy a hotel to be in compliance with the casino law. So they send it now.
You talking Caravel.
Caravel in town. They get the law adjusted again. So the Senate fixed the first law to suit the only casino that we had. And now they fix a next law again to suit this another company,
Yeah.
right?
You pay from 150 to 75.
Yes,
There was
and
150
they was
rooms.
supposed to have 150 rooms in order to run a casino. So
Yeah.
they fix it now. And now they have
Down to
been
75.
was in a situation. So they kind of like help me to try and get this thing going and everything. The government at that time to fall out with a Trustco and some laws who went in place there. So right now we got two casinos on St. Croix, right?
Right.
The two of them had the chance of running the racetrack.
Right.
And they geeked up. Things went sour with them, they geeked up.
Right.
Now, if the last stay the same, that you're supposed to own a hotel and casino, they will have to first build a hotel
Right.
and then get a next casino license. So that'll be casino number 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when they open the casino, that'll be casino number 4,
Right.
or casino number 4, whatever you call it. So that's gonna be 4 gambling place or gamble house,
Yeah.
legal gamble house that we will have in St. Croix to deal with.
Yeah.
You see? So we there in a serious situation. So anyhow we're going order for the racetrack to run and be profitable, which that will help the policies and everything, pay the rent and maintain the track and do this to the stables and everything, they have to have a gambling source.
Yeah.
And that's why the promoter that are on the table now is Sutherland Gaming out of St. Thomas, who don't run VLTs.
Yeah.
So we have something in front of we, and we representing the Hasman Association of St. Croix.
Yeah.
The natives go right down to the input, all Hasman, all Haswoman.
Yeah.
So we are here now trying to negotiate a deal that will be in our favor.
Yeah.
And this thing will just be not $20 deal. This is millions of dollars we're talking about
Right.
that will bring racing to the next level.
Right.
If it got through, trust me, our horse racing will be running for big money. Some days we're gonna be running for way more than Puerto Rico, some more than Florida.
Well, that's
Some-
good to hear
it's
because,
right.
you know, yes, this is the potential that
Nothing
we,
could reach.
yes, and we aspiring to reach to that
Exactly.
potential.
Yes.
But the thing we're gonna break down right now is, you know, from step 1, how do we get this bill to come back without starting back feelings between the governor, the legislature, and the Hasman there? How we could make this thing happen without making a bad situation worse. Because what we want to do, as how Sabine Sokatu explained it here, we want to be able to make this arrangement benefit
To
St. Croix,
everyone.
Hasman
Yes.
in total.
Because we know, Mr. Mohammed, our deals, you don't get what you want, we don't get what we want. But we compromise and come to the best deal possible for you and the best deal possible for the husband.
Step 1 is what we want to get to here now. How then, you know, to be able to get this bill to come back without getting in bad favor with government house and or the legislature, but just simply to let them know, listen, we want to make a big fight and thing here, but there's some changes that we would like to make that is going to benefit all of us. So again, identify yourself and please explain to us what you have in mind.
So good afternoon, Marcus, Vice President of Flamboyant Park Hasman Association.
So the first step we gotta do is between the senators, you gotta put your personal feeling aside and do what you was put there to do, is represent the people of the Bordering Islands, especially St. Croix, the St. Croix senators. So everybody need to come to the table and meet the senators, Southland Gaming, the government, and the Hasman. And we haven't met together as one yet. Mr. Huckabee willing to meet with the senators. So the bill come down, the senators see something they don't like, let's come to the table and meet. That's the only way we could come and meet and solve everything together. Everybody gotta come and put the ideas on the table. You can't come with one person saying this, the next person saying that. Will be a confusion, and that's what we're going right now, to a confusion. So Mr. Huckabee at Southland Gaming, we met with him. The husband had numerous meetings with Mr. Huckabee and Southland Gaming. We met with the government. We met with the senators. We expressed our concerns and the problems that we have. So everybody, the senators said the same thing. They have problems. So everybody need to come to the table and meet and hash everything out.
But that's the issue right there. You know, it's easy just coming out say about us the wars to again, but how to get this thing to happen without bad feelings, mashing up the whole thing. And so let me just ask you a point blank. Who you envision being the point person that could bring all these factors together, from the man with him, he just comes up to read it, something, Huckabee the third, the CEO man from North Carolina.
Well, since we're on the radio right now, we as a Hasman, we point it out there, and I know everybody's listening. So in the hearing, let's set it up. Let's get to the table. The Hasman Association.
No, not at the hearing. Instead, there got to be somebody that taking the point. Somebody that talking to the Huckabee man, the talking to the government house, the talking to the legislature, and of course the husband. Who is that person going to be to take the lead? You can't just say, well, you hear we talking on the radio.
It got to be government house take the lead.
I tell to everybody, sir.
Oh, Mr. Eloy Bates.
I am willing to take that lead.
Well,
I am talking with everybody, but like Mr. Knight, Marcus Knight just told you, we met in Government House last week, Wednesday, and Mr. Huckabee said he willing to meet with the senators, and Tuesday night, we met with the senators, and we told them they need to meet with Huckabee to get this thing hashed out.
Yeah.
You know, because we wanted God to get shut down.
Yeah.
We would like it to go and sail smooth. Everybody okay with it. You know, we would like that.
We should get all 15 senators.
Yes,
forward
because
and everyone voice the
opinion.
Well, this one we'll ask you know, paper. So you say you willing to take on that responsibility to bring all the parties together?
Yes. Yes. That's the only way we're gonna get this thing work.
Get it moved.
That's the only way we're gonna get it work.
Down.
With everybody sitting down at the same table and talking face to face. Because it seemed to me that the husband now know what you want.
Right.
And for sure, it is not the deal that's on the table right now.
Right.
But you don't want to mash up everything.
No, we want everything mashed up.
One is to be understood that, hey, this thing could work.
Yes.
But
We need for our parties to be willing to sit down so we can work this thing out.
Correct.
When we
And
leave,
you know, saying you willing to take that responsibility, you need to be the one to get to these people.
I'm willing to do that.
Pata is the president.
President, correct, yes.
All right. I don't know if Governor Brian got somebody you want to speak to you.
Well, we'll speak to Kevin Williams, the chief of staff.
All right. Well, Dave, and then Huckabee. And that's it.
Yes. And the Husband Association.
Those three and the Husband Association. All you gotta do is get the place.
Four entities. Huckabee, the governor representative, the Hasman, and the legislature.
Right. Right.
and let everyone be coming with our mind,
You know,
and we put everything on the table
you know,
and come to an agreement, because the senators them told us it was the night. Oh, taxes. What about the people that are working and the taxes that are going to be paid and this and that and the other? If we allow them in, jobs going to lose, jobs going to come to us. I understand
all
that.
right. Well, no, from my perspective, I glad to hear, yes, you know, you got somebody willing to step up to take the responsibility for bringing the three parties together, because husband is 4 year. God make it 5.
Not four.
Well, 4,
We plus 3.
he plus 3, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, he plus 3. I know what you want to say, but the point is, you know, is that we now know how we want to go about doing this. You don't take responsibility, Mr. Bates, you're going to do it. All right.
I want to do it.
But here now-
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. All of them listening, and all of them heard Mr. Elroy Bates Jr.,
Yeah,
the president of the Hasman Association,
right.
elaborate
Yeah,
and stated that he is willing to take the lead.
yes.
So now, Mr. Kevin Williams and all of them who's out there listening, they should be reaching out and asking him when we can get this done.
They should be, but
Okay.
you can't wait for that.
Yes, he can't wait for that, but I know they're listening.
Yes,
Okay? And let's get this thing moving
good thing.
and stop the game playing and the cat and mouse and
Good
this
thing.
one. Are we protecting this VIGL?
Well,
Because-
Mr. Knight, all right, to make sure though that we keep on moving is that, all right, we get the first step and we know who make themselves responsible for getting all the parties together,
Exactly.
all right? The 4 parties together. Now, when are the husband going to sit down and make their own agreement as to what they want? Because before you sit down, you've got to know clear in your head what you're looking for, what you want out of this thing. And that means that everybody among the husband have to agree on what this is, what it is you want.
Mr. Mohed, I'm going to say this. Mr. Elroy Bates and Mr. Marcus Knight on Tuesday, make it clear and show transparency that all the husband them who wanted to be there to the Senate to hear what went on live and direct, that nobody could have blamed the association, that they didn't invite husband or doing this. Everyone was invited. And I was glad to see the turnout that we had.
Good.
You know, so when it got forward again and everything got forward, I know Mr. Bates and Mr. Knight would call and held a meeting with the entire body.
Well, I would recommend, and this is just me now, but I would recommend, while in one hand, Mr. Bates, seeing about getting the 4 parties together, that Mr. Bates and Mr. Knight need to now see about all the husbands they coming together, so that when the 4 parties are there, the husbands speak with one voice. Everybody don't agree as to what it is that the husband want. And so
Okay.
that's what I mean, you know, there's 2 things that happen at the same time. One time, you bring all 4 people together. At the other hand, between you and Mr. Knight, at the same time, you are making sure that all the husbands agree on what their position is, what it is that they want. And this here is what could make the husbands speak with one voice.
Okay, Mr. Mohed. And Wednesday afternoon, we met with Mr. Huckabee and government house staff, Attorney Evangelista, Kevin Williams, the chief of staff, Mr. Mota. We met with them. And we lined out some of the changes we need in the bill and in the franchise agreement. We lined that out to them. They're expecting that from me. But still, like I said, I'm willing to set up the meeting with everybody. Also, there's a thing called a live racing agreement that has to be done between the Hasman and the promoter. So that day we're getting together. We're gonna meet with the board and wherever we want. And there's some things go in the live racing agreement that you don't put in the law and you don't put in the franchise agreement. You know, so we're getting together with that. But some things already we've lined out from the potential bill and the franchise agreement that we want to correct it. So we've had that meeting already.
So good. Yeah. I already is to make sure because I've been there many years before I think this is Rudy Schultz-Japan and thing it was stormy weather and fair weather, but after that was all this. And I know one group of men that is easy to get on the same wavelength is Smiley, is Hasman. All Hasman opinionated. Like as I said, everybody get an opinion. Some stick, some no stick.
When we meet, we don't explain things clear.
But this is why I'm saying this now to the other Mr. Bates, is that we need to have you ready for when the 4 groups sit down. In other words, I don't want to hear back that there was confusion, disagreement, any kind of anything between the husband and them. Because it's are you taking the lead, you know? Is out there in the regional, you know, putting yourself out front.
Somebody
And so
gotta
now,
do it,
don't,
we do it.
all right. So do all I try to say now, don't turn around now and be your own work's enemy.
Correct.
But you know, when time to sit down now and make the agreement with the other 3 people, we have problems. And this is why I'm trying to be as emphatic as possible and make this as clear as possible that, hey, the husband them have to be together. You got to work out your problems before you sit down as a 4-party group. Everybody have to be on the same wavelength.
Well, the majority will rule in that because that's how we vote. If we got 800 people and 600 say yeah, and the 200 say no, then we got the majority.
I ain't worried about how you reached it. I just want to say as loudly and as often as you need to hear it, that when the time comes that Mr. Bates gets his job done and all 4 parties sitting down at the same table, I don't want to hear that they have no issue at all about husband.
Understood.
Understood.
Because we taking the lead, so we got to go.
This is just it.
And I also
You
want,
can't be your own enemy.
I also want to put this out there too that
Good, go ahead.
as man, we've been in so much negotiations and see things went back so much time, right?
Yeah.
That this bill that come out, a lot of the things that we have problem, yes, it gonna have is a lot of the government problem that the senators and church should be dealing with. That's why we say we want the senators to sit down to the table.
Yeah.
But we know in the long run,
Yeah.
it could affect the houseman them. So this just to show the people out there that the houseman them, we in this for the long run, because this is 20 years we dealing with. So even though it's a government problem and the senators them is the one supposed to be dealing with it, that's why the houseman them list out all the stuff on the bill and the franchise agreement. So we don't have to go back and deal with this later down the road. So we doing this not just because we want house rates, but we want something good. We know we don't get everything our way, but we want something good because this is going for the next 20 years.
For the long haul.
Yeah.
Okay. We're taking this as break now. Because it's radio time. So, beloved,
And
lick
that's
your
it.
cream, because Armstrong ice cream is just so good for your soul.
That's how I feel.
We're back, beloved. And yes, indeed, yes. We having some discussions in between here and whatnot because, beloved, these husbands, and they make me feel proud. They all making up their mind that they are not going to be divided. They're standing tall as one, all of them. And this has been a weak link with husband here for too long. Let's put it away. Way too long. Lacking the unity. And we have the advantage because, let me say it one more time before I let this stop. James Bates talked a little bit about the jobs that involved you and things. Let us remember this. Unless I get it wrong, it's in 1904, the year 1904. That was the beginning of the 20th century when horse racing began right just on this island. This was St. Croix, Danish West Indies.
And where you were located first.
Ever hear about horse racing, Stony Grove?
I hear about it.
The point is that horse racing in the Virgin Islands come out of St. Croix. That is where you all have to represent now. In other words, you all is like our senators now. All the husband them. You represented St. Croix. We love horse racing at St. Croix. We love us. We love the sport. And we've been deprived of it for too long. No fault of ours. And then we allow some slick politicians in St. Thomas to take advantage of us. And we allow it, cussing and quarreling amongst each other when they take advantage of us. And this is why it is so important that we got to realize you represented St. Croix, man. You are like our senators, our representatives. And horse racing is in our blood as a people in St. Croix. And look how many years we have without horse racing. Listen, you could have put a thermometer on the ground and it would have catch fire. When the war spill out after they says, you know, they haven't horse racing in Damas. His son is like, not what's spitting the fire, yeah? He's joking. Horse racing in Damas? When? What do you have to say, Craig? So that to the point now, these things that I read here, they put their big print. If you agree to this, we are telling you that we are going to urgently make sure that you have horse racing St. Croix by Christmas. You think we have said a jackass?
Excuse me 1 minute.
Please go ahead, Mr. Knight.
When the confusion came up with Southland Gaming in the franchise agreement had a part in it where any entity that had a problem, the next one could have moved forward. But then again, like we just said, politics caused that to not happen because we wasn't in the part with St. Thomas with the group going deep. We was clear to move ahead. And if the people them who was in charge had made them do what that contractual agreement said, We will have on a track already.
Yeah.
But like you said, the politics.
So,
Mr. Moore,
Go on,
good
go on,
afternoon.
go on, Mr.
Listening
James,
public
go on.
again,
Talk
and
fast,
thanks
man.
for the audience for listening, James, this year. So we got some rumors out there saying that if this racetrack open and they bring casinos, they're gonna lose this and the hotel them and they're gonna lose this and that. I want the audience to know that horse racing will generate a lot and a lot of employment. And just starting with the construction, is each of the stables, and we have 88 stables on the racetrack, 3 barns, right? And what happening is when they build them below grade. So you don't have a drainage problem, right? So all of the stables then have to redo. Then breaking them down, they're going to raise the floor 88 times 12 by 12 by 6 inches thick. You know how much concrete they're going to use? All the concrete driver then they're going to have to come down and bring concrete. However, they take from the concrete plant, they're going to have to replenish, right? So that's truckers from the barge and the quarry and everything. The AI can't spread that concrete, you know. They have to have manpower to spread that concrete. Now, the racetrack inside of the racetrack is, the inner field is 32 acres alone. We have a total of about 100 and something acres done by the Dr. Randall James racetrack. The construction to build the grandstand and the racing down there, you know, much concrete and manpower, they don't take electrical, air condition, the bleachers, to put the bleachers, the roofing and all the screws they got to screw down there, the seat them and the benches and all them things. The manpower I don't take. Now to maintain 100 and something acres down at the racetrack, you know how much manpower I don't take. Down in the stable yard, to all them horses that are going to be down there in them stable, somebody got to take care of them. You have exercise rider, you have grooms, you have trainers, people that are going to be delivering feed. You know Mr. Simic here, from where people know him from up Lagoon. He had a son, Carly Danny. He had some pastures and things over the eastern. He used to cut and bale grass and deliver his grass, the thin grass down at the racetrack. So all them things don't come back. That's employment we're talking about. Now, don't talk about the equipment. Our track have went from a 7 furlong to a mile in diameter. That's 8 furlongs. Water trucks. The truck got to water twice a day because we don't open up for training in the morning. And in the afternoon, they got to prepare it again. So when morning comes, sometimes we used to exercise twice a day, but I break it down. The tractor, we need about 3 tractors. One that will be cutting grass in the middle of the field, maintaining the track, dragging the truck. The one that will pull the gate and race. Then we have to get a brand new racing gate. All them things that we have to do. Now, when they had the old track, they had a cistern right behind the grandstand that could only hold about 20,000 gallons. We need to build a new cistern that will hold about 200,000 gallons of water. You see that? Concrete, who won't go down in a hole? Equipment got to dig it out, they got to truck out, they got to farm up the cistern, they got to pour, they got to tie steel. You see the kind of construction. Then sometimes we in Synco like to go to St. Thomas and say, you see how much thing they got, so much plain landing in St. Thomas? Yeah. They come like they don't say not to not deal over there. I went over there, my son said, he said, Daddy, you see how them jet that on the ground? The car they don't do and stick together to get their deal them pass. We don't compare and say, oh, we only got this hotel and that. So it come like we know. And I don't want anybody knock me down for it. Like we go in chasing thing. You see? But we have to say, agree and come together for our construction to start. All them people who will be walking on the food van and things that go when the construction, the people ain't got to eat. They got to drive down, they got to buy gas. So we need to get this thing going. I want all the senators then to come together. I don't care who you vote for this or who you like this. The people then pull you there to work for we. They got to work for we, the husband too, no? And we representing the husband here today. So they got 2 roles to play. The people them and the husband them in this situation. We got to look out for we the husband, but still we sit us in that we want a good deal. So we bring in a lot of jobs too. We got to carry the husband to the beach. We got to swim, deal with shark and thing down there too. Come back up, bathe our husband. We got to ice. We got to ice our husband when they come out the track. Water them, this and that. The other. We got a lot of employment down to that racetrack. It will be over 100 and something people we employing easy, maintaining the race. You know, you got to clean up this and that. So I know we're gonna bring employment in this deal.
Well, there's an industry you're talking about. The horse racing industry.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
what it-
And that's one of the biggest industry in America. And I'm going to take this opportunity to bring tears to my eye, Mario. We get to see one of our locals
Yeah.
taking a horse to the gate.
Yeah.
His name is Wayne Joseph,
Yeah.
pulling number 14,
Yeah.
going to the gate. And my brother said, but look Wayne there.
Yeah.
I said, what? Look Wayne, man. Wayne, I live in Harvey.
Yeah.
And he used to come over the fence and used to walk down. A little heavy little boy used to
Yeah.
come down. Now we're in the big time on TV, Kentucky, the national TV,
Yes,
carrying has to the gate.
What's
Now,
Saturday mean?
I don't know who was he was carrying. Bob Baffert. You know the Bob
Yes,
Baffert
that's-
who?
that's
The
the-
white-head
That's the
man.
back, that's the back.
You know they are suspend him for a couple
Yeah,
years with him,
yeah.
but he win the Triple Crown twice
Yeah.
to justify an American film. That's me a history now.
Yeah.
I don't watch the races. I want to see what Bob Baffert got running after that.
Yeah.
But Mr. Wayne Joseph, congratulations to you. Everybody was
Congratulations,
bigging him up on Facebook,
Yeah.
and he was carrying number 14.
Yeah.
And we don't see on TV regular with Keeneland races.
Yeah.
But I say, well, I tell my brother he ain't gonna be there because that's the big stage.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna let Wayne go on that track like that.
No, we-
But Wayne being there.
But what people them not get on every big stage.
Yes, yes.
We like Tom Mike, when we get in your can't get we are.
Yeah, I tell you, yes, we don't do
In every
it.
sport.
Basketball, baseball, track
The
and field.
jockeys, everything.
Yes.
Zabir, so listening good
And this is very good.
because we remind everyone, anybody who to get out the hand what they call it. Yeah, forget what you said because this is the key. Take it out.
And all of you,
Together, this as long as we together, this thing will happen.
and all of you who listening out there that have the power to make it go forward. Let's get together, like we saying here,
Yeah,
and let's work this thing out because how is that right now?
yeah,
Everybody have the little problem with it. Let's put it. We will feel all right. The promoter will feel all right, and the government will feel all right because the government have to be getting their taxes too also.
Yeah.
And the people want their taxes.
Yes. So it's a good opportunity for St. Croix, St. Thomas getting the races. I went over to St. Thomas. I went there about 4 times. I went there the first year when they carry a horse over named Pure Spite.
Yeah.
He didn't get to run in the Governor's Cup because he reached too late.
Right.
But he still win the race. But I went over there personally, James Bates, who then construction and trucking, to
Yeah.
see how they build that racetrack over there.
right.
And when I see what they build over there, I say, well, these man, I mean, what they gonna do? We had people that said they're gonna build our racetrack.
Yeah.
And they toiled out for 7 years. They had to go away more than once. And I used to have big argument with he down in Canada. You know, he'd be under the tree there in town.
Yeah.
That's the office there. And I telling me, what else they need now?
Yeah.
Well, they you say, well, they need this and they need that. I start to call them something else because
Yeah.
every minute is something else they need.
Yeah.
And they need this and they need that. And they had the opportunity now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're gonna move on from that.
Yeah.
We get to another stage now that our next promoter want to take the handle. And I could
Yeah.
say what they build in St. Thomas, they did a good job. They stable them, they did an excellent job. This race day, the Ghan Carnival races there, I been there.
Yeah.
And 3 track record was set. 2 of them were from St. Croix. And Native set the 4 long record. And then another mare won by Larry, right?
Mhm.
Larry.
Yeah.
And they ain't broke no record. The night racing they broke no
Yeah.
record, but they win the race.
We don't break
And-
record.
and
We
we
have
had-
pocket.
We had how much race we win, Marcus?
Four.
The Native, Larry,
Four.
Chinko. Another night. You remember George night?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's George night. his brother,
Four of them.
and
Four-
one
four
of the
of
Jackie
them.
them from St. Clair, I think he win 5 races.
Four.
Four of them, four out of
Winston.
Winston House. But St. Croix Jackie win 5. Corwin John, we still got our Kevin Krieger in the States. We went to the Kentucky Derby to represent Kevin Krieger. We had Victor Lebron, he's still up there. Jose Maganja Felix. We got Abdul Williams. He training horses and his son, Ajari Williams. Up to yesterday, I watched them right. Now, when I did on my TV, I look into see when Abdul running one. We got one in Thistledown, Ohio. That Prince Galloway. Yes, man alone, the woman them screaming for. He got a son up there, a grandson. A grandson. What you first name be? Kadim Galloway. I don't just put in Galloway in the trainer and they don't come up. And you press entry, and you want to see what has he running, what name they did. Yes, and they're doing good. All of them, we got, remember Galinto? Galinto, he used to train for Shabbat then. He got a grandson of there too, up in Shakuma, that's oils. He got he up in Tampa too, and all of them, they become the because we ain't got no track. Abdul have a brother and a son that is training. And you know what I mean? But when
we leave here, just remember, so you give me the spoiler. Your responsibility is to know how you're going to do it. You have some kind of over magic or whatever I think you have to do. But you got to bring all these husbands together and one wavelength. Like it's a radio station, you go to there, you would have brought the one station.
Mario, the husband them got to realize if it wasn't for us, the day I got in the corner, I said the white truck pitching coming down. I said, but why he speeding so coming down? I'll lay stop sign. When he reached on the corner, he said, get in this truck. I jump in the truck. When I said, Baba, where we going? He said, don't question me. There we go. When we reached down to UVI, if we wasn't there, we wouldn't have had stable down there.
You see that?
We stand up and defend and fight for them stable stable. Because they were broken down. Stable that went through Hurricane Hugo to put you on the south side under the dump, under the sewage plant, where the flood. And when the tent them in Florida pour, they don't flood out. They don't go up to Palm Meadows. We ain't got no other stables to go. We fight and keep that. And then we allow them to come the September 28th when we were going to the Senate to VIGL said it's starting to fix roof. We begged them to get the galvanized from an Antigua from Anderson. Where is a good gauge? One last from the time it built till they take it out. Mario, whoever put on the roof in the galvanized them over good. When it rain, you guys have said you're going there for shelter. You don't want to stay out with the stable and wash out. That these people know to fix it properly, you have to take and pour all of the floors and concrete. The stable roof was off. I tell a friend of mine, he tell me why you don't stop talking nonsense. He went down to pick up a family. The roof them they have on the light on. What they want to do, burn down the structure. But God didn't make it, that thing happen. And they buy the cheapest material, they galvanized from somewhere down the fence. You watch them, they don't leaking.
They leaking anyway, they leaking now.
Mean they rusted and all already. So I would like the husband them to know. We looking out for everybody. When we call meeting, everybody come and let's voice our opinion. Not staying on the shanty, not staying on the corner and everything. Because when you tell them meeting, a few can come in.
But this and I'm not interrupting you because this is dead serious now.
If we want to say
this
the opportunity
to get together, because if we let this one slip away, I don't know.
I don't know. All the elders them telling me, my son, I want to stay around before we think are they in St. Thomas running winning, are they in the States running winning? We
Yeah.
can't get to see them here. I said, we want to do it. But
Well,
I have a son that's his thing. He loved this.
Well, we need to take advantage here and now because that is what from read this thing here. And Sunday I went over what they call it. Read it again. And what stand out to me is that they think that they have the upper hand.
No, they don't. And like I
And
said,
the way
earlier,
how they take this thing right down here is that listen, if you all don't behave, church out for you. Behave yourself, and we're going to guarantee that you got half races in Croix by Christmas.
yeah, we want a race, but we ain't want it at any cost.
Well,
We
well,
want to apart.
that's the point. There. That's the
Want
point.
a
They
good,
say,
solid
you got to
foundation.
behave yourself, meaning follow their lead. And right now, I mean, you see that millions and billions and billions of dollars they're looking for. And what I want y'all to see clearly is that without you, this can't come true for them.
Mario,
They ain't gonna admit to that. But what they call it the entertainment centers is basically 2 casinos for St. Thomas that they want approved. And that approval depend on you.
and they
Behave yourself.
There is winners all around. There is winners when they get them to entertainment center, and they have new money coming with Synchro.
Thank you. Thank you.
So everybody
Yes, sir.
have to be pleased.
And that's your job.
That's all I got.
Again, how like I said, when I did Uber use video, what you use?
Like
But you got to get these husbands to stick together because from here we want to go to that sit down with 4 groups.
and say things move forward.
You understand? And when you get there, that means that everybody don't agree on this position. And this is the time when all the argument then could come out and everything now, who this, that, they come out here now. Because when you get to this four, this 4, I don't know what to call it, the 4 representatives sit down here. I ain't want to hear no kind of disagreement with the husband. Husband now one head. Because Lord Harry the judgment.
Mario,
You know how much blues it take over this party is that?
I'm telling you.
You know how much
And
blues it take?
Mario, our breeding industry was up there. That we had a native, we call native rhythm.
Yes.
And when he turned off that race, they broke track record and they import them.
Yes.
Now we just breeding to say we breeding. We,
Yes.
you know, we got farm from all the work, the Roebuck them, come down, the Knight them got still, Williams them, the
Yeah.
Brow, the Henry,
Yeah.
the Dr. Hendricks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they got that same guy Galloway, Canton them,
Yeah.
they got beers and things that they
Yeah.
got all over. But they just breeding and so on.
Yeah.
And say, but when we don't get a racetrack?
Well, that's why I want us to understand is all of this depend on all of this depend on we have it one head.
Yes.
And right now we taking over our final break. So we come back, we'll come down from the last lap. So again, I always say not even with a black bottle stick, you could beat the stress relief. If you need stress relief, lick your cream. Because that sugar ice cream is just so good for you.
I'm sure I'm gonna go too.
You got a bowl, you know that?
Yeah.
I know you know that.
No, 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 the hospital.
Yes, you got for sure. No. He got
Yeah,
no.
Van
Yes, I
Gogh
know
has-
that.
Oh, he
Van Gogh
got-
has race,
Picture
yeah.
they right at the
Yeah,
wall
that
of it.
No, but Van Gogh has Fan Association. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
They got 50 plus league right now. You're playing it.
Well, they only 36 years old, you know. Oh, you know again, lad. You know I got three commercials coming up. Make a left and a left. But then the first station, if you make a left, the first, that's the sponsorship part. But they got, but,
I got all of them listening to the
All of them listening.
All of
I
them.
put up with Blue yesterday in the park. You said they don't go and they more tuning. The whole Senate tuning into this. The whole Senate building. That's
all it takes is one head because
Yeah,
Look at that. We're back, beloved. And this is our last lap. As we look to our husband here as our representative. It's in politics. But in a way, it is politics because we depended on these husband to represent us. They take enough advantage of us over the years, knowing full well that when they come to horse racing, St. Thomas can be in the same league as St. Croix. I could call all and name them with us in the street where they just call the racetrack in St. Thomas. Because they don't call it a racetrack. We have a professional racetrack, one that could host the biggest horse racing events in the entire Caribbean. And these things could all happen because we're on the brink of it right now. If we get to understand, we only have to work together. And don't let these people take advantage of us. They want to use us to get 2 casinos for St. Thomas. I'm saying it loud and clear for all listening. They want to have 2 casinos in St. Thomas. Well, listen, the husband ain't trying to get into your business in St. Thomas where you do for what you don't do. But when you come to St. Croix, you can step back because the St. Croix husband will decide what is best for St. Croix, not you. And with that, I turn over to the voice that represents us, Senator James Bates.
Senator,
That's how you've been talking here today.
Ocho,
Yeah.
so you well, I've been wrong a long time on.
You let
And I
us
want
to
to
know
tell
about
you-
the economics and the industry of it and all and this kind of thing. So let us
That
know.
had to come out that people could have knowledge of what's going on and not just think that we're trying to reap and then have no care for the people them that walk into these places, you know.
That's why
Mario.
they said that a
You
bit.
say 4 are we here?
Yes.
But we got the army,
Yeah.
the Hasman them, they know what it take.
Yeah.
We got doctors, lawyers, we got psychologists,
Yeah.
we got vet,
Yeah.
we got people in all departments. We got people stateside that know what it take
Yeah.
to make the races work for a long time.
Yeah.
So we've been there already, right? I did this thing from a little boy, from when it was what they used to call it, flamboyant racetrack. When they had a galvanized fence.
Yeah.
You remember a couple times they broke down the big fence when people win the
Yeah,
gun
man.
and the truck.
Yeah,
They
man.
used to have dog and thing patrolling. And
Yeah.
You know about that, right? Yeah. I want to call on you, but they had a time they broke down the fence down there. And I did it as a little boy.
Yeah.
I get to see Alan Vanterpool
Yeah.
carrying that big mare called LaCroix.
Yeah.
Alan was shot and she had like a big monster,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
And she win couple times. Remember our good friend Sylvan Bastian, they call it Gajo.
Gajo. Yeah.
Gajo was
The karate man.
the karate man. We used to have a lot of fun on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Now when you say Stony Ground,
Yeah.
I never know about Stony Ground until Mr. Shakil. I used to sit down there in a bucket
Yeah.
and Shakil, remember?
Yeah.
Shakil Judge, he
Yeah.
tell me all the different stories. How it's
Dip and all of that.
Yes. You know, so we come from a long
Yeah,
history
yes, man.
and we get to another level now that we
That's
want
why
to
we
really
don't make them know all the time when it's a house race, St. Croix.
And back in them days, we had to put up our own purse. You had to pay what the entrance fee. Now we get to another level that we gonna be running for a better purse, and we're gonna get better families and things. Our streets gonna go to a great level once everything all right. So I want all our senators, Mr. Governor, Mr. Albert Bryan, Lieutenant Governor Trevenger Roach, Mr. Kevin Williams from Frederickson. That's my good friend, from Little League. Imagine the race bike too, no? The do bike racing. Mr. Mota, who lived in government, not live in government house, he work in government house. He got a uncle called Iki Mota. He used to be a farrier. He trained some very good natives. We learn a lot from him. So the whole of St. Croix got family when it comes to horse racing. We will tell you. But this thing is a big thing now. The young people, them sometimes they run. I won't tell you a joke. My son went and run horse down in Williams Delight down there. And I gone down there now to see the race because I come from Bush Race. A lot of these men come from. He used to be with me when we had Panama thing down in the bush and thing, running race. And cloudy, right? But I gone down Williams Delight where they had a race down there. So now I gone down there. So about it. If I could run out from down here in case anything happens, because I see now kind of man and thing down here. They had a little bit just though. Mario, they had a race. I don't hold back. They had a race down there for $10,000. You hear Bush Race or no? I did down there park up. I don't park my truck as well. Like run go so if anything happens, they come and ask me to hold the post. What me get myself into down here now? So they trust me, So I say I'm counting the money out. I take this money. I take the money and I put it in a bag. I don't want nobody see me counting the money and they say, bitch. I said, if anything happen with this race, I make sure I come to me because I could get a dead hit. And I only praying that this thing goes straight. When the boss off my heart start to race now, and they coming up the stretch, but there was a fair and square race, and I give them the money and everything was good down there. And these man, we they here with this thing, you could see them on the highway now and then training has something. We need to get them off the road. Somebody again knocked down some time ago, no? Right? Somebody get killed? Yes. A young boy I get killed. But they ain't gonna stop. They got this in their blood. Just like the Little League, they want to play ball in the street and they got ball parks and things. So we need to work on this thing. And please, let we get our Dr. Randall James racetrack up and running. Get this thing back to where it's gonna be better.
For the community, for the people of St. Croix.
Yes, it's gonna be better. And the St. Thomians, them, we love Ayo. Ayo doing good, they make our racing excited. Come back in the days when you hear like hell break loose and then come over to St. Croix. It's a big thing,
But the St. Thomians them need to stand up and speak up for themselves to get a better deal because they need to know what's going on and they need to read to realize that it's a lot of big things going on and don't get left behind.
So that's our brothers and sisters over there, all always one big family. So we want that it could come back to inter-island racing. And when you hear Christmas second day come, remember Chera Hoyliga used to come on the radio? And he used to say, well, my friends, so in the first race coming, this coming, that coming. We want to hear that. When we had the Triple Crown, the inter-island Triple Crown, Slebin went to Tortola. We win the first race down there. When they hear this body coming, that body coming from Tortola, it had cars parked. The grandstand couldn't hold nobody.
All up past the car truck.
All up past the car truck to the stoplight. People were parking down, going down past the airport. We want to bring back that. We got agriculture fair races. That when people come in, it used to be you go to the agriculture fair, you buy up what you want, and you come to the racetrack and watch our agriculture fair races. We want to bring back. And don't talk about our Triple Crown. Our Triple Crown is from September, the first leg. The second leg is November. And the last,
keep this thing in mind.
Yes.
when you preparing for this,
Yeah.
sit down with this
Yes.
the four groups, keep this thing in mind.
So we just want to close out. How much more time we got?
The
So then,
time you need.
And Mario, I want to thank you very much for having me here and this.
not Mario alone, you know, we got to make sure we mention Miss Mary
Miss
Mohet.
Mary Mohed is a star.
Yes,
Mhm.
She run my life.
She run your life.
Yes,
She run
Good.
my life.
You got a good pilot.
because
Yeah.
like she told me,
Yeah.
he has more of the knowledge concerning the hatcheries, so she wants us to sit with him instead of her. And I told her no problem, I will get with the president. And Mr. Elroy Bates said it was a go. And I called and I confirmed, and we was here today. She got on the phone, want to know why music still playing. She wanted to start to hear the discussion. Ms. Mohed, you hear us going talking. And if Mario, if you want the last couple minutes, if you want to bring some cards in, we will take some cards quick.
I want to say some quick.
All right, so beloved, you all don't know the number. It's 7730390, 7730490. So you could call.
Mr. Mohed,
Talk to me.
this a sad note because we lose a trainer this morning.
I hear about that. I hear about that. And again,
You know,
Really fighting.
in front of
Okay.
his house, in front of his house.
He passed Mr. Kalim Isles, better known as Kalba.
Yeah.
That's a trainer. That's one of our trainers. He was training a horse in St. Thomas and
And had
That's-
one on the way coming.
had one on the
Yeah,
way.
Puerto Rico
That's
coming.
Mr. Tix Felix' grandson. So,
Edgar
what's it,
Isles.
Felix?
That's Edgar Isles' grandson.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
As he means his father. My condolence to
Condolences.
Yeah.
Condolences to the
to the
Felix
family.
and his family.
His family.
Yes, that was one of our trainers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mario. Good afternoon.
All right, we got a better time over here. What you got to say?
Yes, I like what I'm hearing, and it's, as Mario said, we just gotta stick together. But I have one question that seemingly keep popping up. We know the question trade and the industry and all of that. Is it just to win races, or is it a money-making industry for Racinos? I would ask that I hang up.
Well, again, a very good question. But I, as my beloved audience know, I love to read. And I read everything that my sister gets from me. And I read them twice. And I have to say that actually this is a big, big money making deal. And we need to realize that St. Croix is an instrumental part of this program that Sutherland Gaming has put together. And for them to be able to achieve their goal of making, beloved, the truth is the truth, millions and millions and millions of dollars off of casino gambling. They don't call it casino because they deal with the Casino Control Commission. They deal with the VI lottery. And what VI lottery know about casino? What they know about horse racing? But we know about horse racing here in St. Croix. And as the caller said, that is why I, for one, every time I open my mouth here, keep saying to all the horsemen them, our lack of unity, our disagreement with each other, been the biggest reason why we are in the losing end of this thing now. And so that we got to understand that that we don't get back on the losing end. But we fully understand we are needed for them to get their goal, for them to achieve the millions of dollars that they achieving by way of Southland Gaming. They need St. Croix. They need the St. Croix Halfsmen Association. And it is time for St. Croix Halfsmen to stand up and realize it is our turn to run things. We are going to decide what is best for racing, horse racing on the island of St. Croix. Not St. Thomas, not Southland Gaming, but we, the horsemen of St. Croix, we got to decide what is best for horse racing at St. Croix. And that, I hope, is what we get out of getting out behind. We'll have to just say, we get out behind, cut too much time over the years. This body promising that, this body promising the other thing, this body pulling out the last minute, this body this, that, this promising this. Well, it is for us to fully realize we are in charge, but we can't be in charge if we are not united. True. That is the key thing. I can't say it happening enough. We got to be united, and right now, I think we understand that, and we're moving forward. To answer that a bit.
To answer the gentleman question, nearly 90% of the racetracks in America turn to gaming, and a lot of them close. The Gulfstream racetrack, they have a racetrack and casino. Aqueduct, they have VLTs. Churchill Downs, I went and looked up Churchill Downs, and I was sharing it with Marcus and my brother and Mr. Knight, that they have their machines, and their machines named Pushat HHR machines. And that stands for Historical Horse Racing Machines. And in 2024, the impact that them machines make, they have them all over Kentucky. They make over $10 billion, 5 times more than the live racing agreement. And with that, they have carried horse racing up to a next level. Till they just renovate Churchill Downs, the paddock. They spend over $400 million renovating the paddock. They have another track they call Kentucky Downs. They don't want to hear the millions of dollars that Kentucky Downs are run for. And they name
hold on a minute. Hold on. We listen to the senator.
They name them VLTs or casino. They name them HHR machines, and that's some reason to get.
And you said not millions, but billions would have been.
10 billions. If they look, go on the go and ask the guy everything there.
Okay. Carla, you there?
Yes.
All right, we listen to your talk to.
Yeah, just call in to wish the app and then good luck.
Good thing.
I hope they're really serious. I hope they're serious.
This is you, young man.
Yes. And get themselves together.
Okay.
Not bickering and arguing. And everything they're going to do, put it in writing. Whatever suggestion they have and they feel they should have, don't just meet with the senators right now. Put it into writing. Document speaks for itself. Allow you for you quickly. I know you have that. I check out the thing you were talking about with Armstrong Ice Cream. They're not interested of marketing. We spoke with Cedric. Man, he said, he got to turn, and he found them not interested. They appreciate the honor they get, but to going further, they're not interested. I spoke with the artist. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Good luck to the heart, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks a million. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So I believe everybody beginning to see clearly that we have the advantage. The house race is in your hand.
And you know, Mario, why I said take some calls? Because I don't like people say, oh, you all just sit there and you talk and you didn't give us an opportunity. And that's why I tell you, open up the phone lines where anyone has an idea or wants to find out something. Once we're gonna answer it, we're gonna answer it. But Mario, again, thank you and Peggy for having us today. And like she always tell me, anytime we need time, just touch base with her. She will be there for us. And I would like to thank you and Peggy and the station manager Josh, and for Mr. Knight, to the people, good afternoon.
All right. Anybody last words? Marcos?
Well, Mr. Mohead, like I told you earlier,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get this meeting going. Senate President Pata, Vice President Gittins, Governor Bryan, Chief of Staff Kevin Williams, and CEO for Southland Gaming, Bobby Huckabee. I'll be in touch. I will be in
Sound good.
touch.
Sound good.
Yeah, and for the husband them already are listening. All these guys they told me enough to be my father as the youngest in a bunch.
Good.
So I wanted to have a lot of confidence. I mean, we're gonna reach out and give the information to them,
Yeah.
but have confidence in us. Me, I love Synchro and I love Ashray. So then my band in it.
Good.
My uncle them, my uncle, everybody there in it.
Good.
My band in this thing here. And I want to see it go on as long as I could see it go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look, we done a 10-year pass.
Yeah.
We had to venture, we got to go St. Thomas, we got to go to the States just to see Ashrays. I want to see it in my own home.
So
So,
you know, let me say to you first that when you step up and say that you would take all the responsibility to make me feel good, make
Yeah.
me feel
yeah,
proud.
we have to. Somebody
You
have
know,
to do it, you know what I mean?
That well, too many of our young people, for whatever the reason, my son, they just see life as a shortcut.
Yeah,
I
many
don't
times,
want to put it
many
over.
times they get discouraged in the seminar and not done with this, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just like seeing all the bickering and personal issues,
Yeah,
like,
we got another
we got
car
to see
coming in.
past
Don't
that.
want to wait. Don't want to wait. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you for your call. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yes, sir. So I'm calling today to actually, discuss some serious issues that we're having, that we're going through. Ongoing situation. Is it okay for me
You
to?
talking about house racing or what? What do you say? You just said situation, but what situation you talking about?
Okay, not house place. It's an environmental issue that I'm experiencing.
Well, all right, I'm going to beg you to wheel and come again because we finishing up with the house racing here. I can be here. You could come back and talk with me and we, see what we could do to help you. But right now, we're trying to finish up with the house racing.
Okay, so when you say will be a good time, because I was told after 3 o'clock.
Yeah, well, give me 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
All right, good thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was saying, much times they come very discouraging and say, man, I'm not done with this whole thing and just forget about it. I look like these people,
Yeah.
they can't see what you see, and everybody just
Yeah.
looking for their own interest, you know what I mean? And we gotta
Yeah.
get away from that if we want to see, especially St. Croix, go to a better place. We gotta move away from that crab in the barrel mentality. Cause just going in America, we done a big industry up there. You see how things run. I mean,
Yeah.
everything ain't perfect.
Yeah.
That case America that is perfect.
Okay.
And to see that,
Another one.
they got
Okay. Don't go nowhere. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. afternoon, Mario. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, we ain't got a heap of time, but we're trying to finish for horse racing here. You want to talk to them?
Yeah, really quick. I just want to touch base on our historical archives based on who we are as Virgin Islanders. And we're missing a lot of archives, but the archives are there within our family members. So we should have a little museum and a school to teach our younger generation about the history. Last year in the Kentucky Derby, you had out all 19 starters for the first time in history made a historical run. All of them was the bloodline to Secretariat. And that's very powerful. But getting an education so that our younger generation could be more involved and understand how the hash track and everything is going. And if we don't do nothing now, we're going to lose men like y'all and that knowledge and, the historical part of teaching what our younger generation and everyone did. I am glad to know that I've been a part of this of my family, from the Hendricks to the Bermudez and so forth. So, big up to
well said. We appreciate you, man.
No one should get in the way of the people and the legislature and the Senate. We got to get some things done. Nobody else on the outside should be involved in this thing. We got to move forward.
Good thing. Appreciate you.
Be blessed. One love.
Yes.
Yeah, and just going and being in horse racing so much and watching from Guyana to Barbados to Jamaica, even to Antigua, they have nothing close to what we could have, and to see what they're doing with their horse racing. If you look at the Guyana racing and see the track that they're running on, but to see the money and the hustling that they're bringing down there and the kind of races they have, seeing that and knowing what we could have here in St. Croix would be way much better. And that's part of the deal and the bills and so that we want to be able to take our racing to another level here in St. Croix. We could have the best racing in the Caribbean.
That's what we're looking towards here, and that is why, I personally want to congratulate you as as the youth in the group here that you step up, because usually what wrong with too much here at St. Croix is young people finding shortcut.
Yeah, and that's
they want to take a gun.
Yeah, and so you said
that kind of craziness.
You got a lot of people, they feel that they're older than you, and you as a young person, they don't tend to believe in you.
Yeah.
But I've been from 2013. I buy my first house in Gulfstream Park.
Good you.
In 2013.
Yes,
I
sir.
take that step and venture out.
Congratulations.
And from then to now, we've been owning house in Florida, and we've been doing good.
Yeah.
Up to Saturday,
It's time now for you to bring it home.
Yeah, and that's what I want
to do. Don't allow for these husbands, to get out. But to get beside yourself and to not hold one head.
Yeah,
You
are
younger than them, but you're more aggressive. And I want you to stay that way.
Yeah, the one thing is Flamboyant Park Aspan Association, they win on hold one head. This one of the best boards they had since horse racing come in St. Croix. One of the best.
All right, this is the last call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mario.
Welcome. We're trying to finish up with the horse racing here.
Yes, Miss Blackman, Mario. Love you.
Oh, Miss Blackman, I don't know when last I see you.
I don't see you either. Because I don't have the go like before because I ain't no horse race, so we can go to that stage.
Yeah, well, they are here now to make sure that they're going to have horse racing for you to enjoy.
Well, I wanted to put some sense in their head for me. Help them out, please.
We got to go.
Our track back.
We got to go. Go. Thank you. Take care of yourself, Miss Blackman.
Yeah, and I just want them to know, don't but study them St. Thomas and saying, train them over here and run them in St. Thomas. No, we don't want that. Cut that out. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, Miss Blackman. Take care of yourself. All righty. Okay. All righty. The last word we give it to the senator of the group here. You understand?
Well,
see, he don't know who is the senator.
Mr. Mohead, I just want them to know the young people them out there waiting for our next opportunity. We had a lot of jockeys and things and grooms and trainers. And sometime last year we sent somebody to to Keeneland Racetrack, a young guy from Complex, and he said he wanted to be a jockey. But without the racetrack here in St. Croix, and a lot of them used to start with the non-thoroughbred racing.
Yeah.
And they got the opportunity. We had one, the last one that his name was the one who died in the car accident. P.D. Prentice.
Yeah.
That guy used to come track every day, and Sela, that's King Dobby's son, used to give him a chance, and that guy ended up winning races and things like that. And right now, if we don't have a little league park, we won't see nobody in the major leagues. So if we don't have our flamboyant racetrack, our young people don't have a chance. We're going to die out, but the young people then need the chance. And the good thing with this deal we got through, they don't have a nice sound deal that their grandchildren and everybody would be benefiting. So I want our young people to get someplace. That's the only thing my father could have controlled me with. When he said you ain't going hatch race, so I used to make sure all my viewers them come up. I used to sit down under the tree and watch the robot them going down and come back. I used to go by the gas station. Who win? I try to take chance. I say, go down and boy can. I say, might catch me. Somebody might see me going down there. So I know got a lot of young people out there just want to put their hand and
As racing is the blood of St. Croix.
Yes, it's there, and I just hope
we
send it
need
as
to
them.
do what we need to do.
They come together. Let we put all differences aside and work out a song deal so we could get our racetrack back, please.
That's it. Last one that you
Very good.
Beloved,
Thank
you
you.
know, son.
Thank you.
Say a prayer for us all so that we could get this
I
thing
didn't get
together.
to thank Miss Mary Mohead, but I got a little joke for share Miss Betty.
All right.
When I went St. Thomas, I see an elevator over there. I know Miss Betty can't climb them steps, but they will have an elevator. We will make sure. Because they used to have a set area they used to sit down on. And Miss Betty and Miss what the next woman named down in Frederick said would have been with them to the Clay Roca. They had a section they used to they used to sit down there, and I know they still got a couple more years left on them, right? So I know they'll be in the stands.
Good thing. All right. Well, beloved, you know, lick your cream because that sunrise cream is just so good for your soul. Okay, good to go. of it. And we got about less than 10 minutes here before we go into our Crucian history question for the day. And beloved, we have been successfully, I must say, dealing with the issue of horse racing and St. Croix. And as we all know, only too painfully well, that St. Croix has been without horse racing for way too long, too many years. And a lot of it has been, well, due to our own lack of commitment, lack of unity. But I think we have overcome these things, you know, and we are on our way to, well, doing horse racing and St. Croix on another level as professionals as we need to do it. And so we could now turn our view to, well, information and enlightenment. And that is where beautiful Aisha come into play, because, beloved, it was beautiful Aisha who came up with the idea that if the program is called Information and Enlightenment, and you, Maria, was talking about St. Croix and how rich the history is and so forth, well, I am making the commitment to actually do my very best to come up with a informative and enlightening question about our history here in St. Croix. And it has been very successful. And that's why I really don't get tired of presenting all the the history that I could. Something that happened that make me choke, you know, it. But yes, we're talking about the history of St. Croix. And beloved, not too many people appreciate St. Croix for its history. But yet, here I am, continuing to tell you, my beloved audience, that St. Croix might not be the biggest island in the Caribbean. Far from it. But same way, we are definitely not the smallest island in the Caribbean. So we're not the largest, we're not the smallest. We fall somewhere in between there. Just 84 square miles. But 84 square miles have very, very rich history that began in 1644. And beloved, this is when I consider the history of St. Croix being of the highest importance, because while we get the recorded history telling us about the Taino people, the Siboney people, the Arawak people, and then they don't even want to learn about the cannibalistic Carib people. All of these are history. Well, beloved, somehow the history of those people, while important, don't say it's not important, but it doesn't move me. It doesn't interest me like the history that begins when the Dutch settlers here on St. Croix in the 17th century, middle of the 17th century, they appealed to the Dutch Parliament in Europe if they could get some of the prisoners of war that had been captured while the Dutch were invading in Dongo from the east. And this was at the same time that the Portuguese were invading in Dongo from the west. So you had the East coming, the East invasion, the Dutch, the Western invasion for the Portuguese. Well, beloved, we were able to be represented by prisoners of war that the Dutch captured while invading the kingdom of Ndongo, which I think we all know by then was led by none other than Queen Nzinga. I say that bit of it because from my perspective, and this is just my personal view, this is when our history began on St. Croix. This was before St. Croix was part of the Danish West Indies. Matter of fact, at this time, we had 3 different European settlements on the island of St. Croix. The Dutch will be talking about and ways to the Christian state. And this radio station WSTX 970 used to actually have the studios in what was Fort Louis Augusta, the fort of the Dutch settlement. And there was just one of the three different European settlers, because at the time you had British and you had French. So St. Croix had three different European settlers at the time: Dutch, British, and French. But beloved, that is when our history began here on St. Croix. But enough of that, because we are going to take our break to come back to do what we have promised. Our crucial history question for today. So, lick your cream, beloved, because Absang ice cream is just so good for your soul. We're back, beloved. And if you are ready, we certainly are. And beloved, we want to take you back to the year 1922. That would be 104 years ago. 104 years ago, in 1922, beloved, St. Croix was home to 3 different labor unions. You know of the St. Croix Labor Union, and you know how successful the St. Croix Labor Union had been. Matter of fact, from when it started in 1915, the wage for cane cutters and St. Croix was 20 cents a day. 20 cents a day. In 5 years, meaning by 1920, from 1915 to 1920, the St. Croix Labor Union was successfully able to give its members a 500% increase in wages. So that they went from 20 cents a day in 1915 to $1 a day in 1920. And beloved, as with so many other things, success has been challenged by the lack of unity. And in a matter of 2 years, from 1920 to 1922, St. Croix went from having 1 labor union to having 3. From 1 labor union to 3 labor unions. And that, beloved, is your crucial history question for today. Let me see how you're going to answer this one, because I don't think the internet will be able to help you. But listen to me talk. I'm the last person to ask anything about the internet. What do I know? You know how to use the internet, and you have shown me that time and time again. So let me just ask the question and listen out for your answer. In 1922, St. Croix was home to 3 labor unions. We need the names. I think you know the name of the St. Croix Labor Union. Do you know the name of the other two unions? Because, like I said, by 1922, we had 3 labor unions on St. Croix. 2 new labor unions came up to challenge the success of the St. Croix Labor Union. The question, beloved, is for you to tell me, what was the name of these labor unions? Tell me the name of the 2 labor unions who came about between 1920, 1921, and 1922 to challenge the success of the St. Croix Labor Union. What was their name, beloved? And I am waiting to hear from you to tell me the name of the 3 labor unions that were in existence on St. Croix in 1922. And we all know that one of them was the St. Croix Labor Union. Give me the name of the other 2 unions. What were their names? And beloved, I don't see the telephone ringing. I am wondering if you are busy trying to find out what you can from the internet. But beloved, it is for you to tell me the names of the 3 labor unions of St. Croix. And we already have the name of one, the St. Croix Labor Union. What was the name of the other 2 unions? I am waiting to hear from you, beloved. I am waiting to hear from you. Tell me the name of the St. Croix labor unions in 1922. Good afternoon to you. I am looking for the name of the St. Croix labor unions in 1922.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know, the Union Co-op Store and the Longshoremen Union.
I've never heard of those names. You making them up? Are you making them up? It sounds that way. So we come again. It looks like I got a good one at this story. Beloved, what was the name of the labor unions in existence on St. Croix in the year 1922? And we all know of the St. Croix Labor Union. What are the names of the other 2? Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, I am trying to find out the name of the labor union on the island of St. Croix in 1922.
Okay, let me take a shot at it. The
Please.
St. Croix Federation of Labor and another that name the Teachers Association.
Well, beloved, I am afraid you have to wheel and come again. All right. Good afternoon. What are the names of the unions in 1922 on this island of St. Croix?
Okay, good afternoon, Mario.
Yes.
Let me guess. The radio messing up, so somebody may have gotten an answer already, but so let me just try to guess anyhow. I would say the American Federation of Labor and the Virgin Islands Federal Workers Union.
Well, beloved, I am going to have to say to you, wheel and
All right.
come again.
Okay, all right.
No, beloved, we are in need of the names of the labor unions on the island of St. Croix in 1922. I think we all know of the St. Croix labor union. What about the other two? Give me the name of the other two labor unions. Help me. Good afternoon to you. I am looking for the name of the labor unions of St. Croix in 1922.
I'm going with Mr. Mohammed, the St. Croix Rural Union and the St. Croix Labor Union of Christian Federation.
I think you are guessing. You laugh. Wheel and come again. I think I got a good one for you all this time around. Wheel and come again. Yes, beloved. I think so. Because you are not going to get the answer to this one from the internet. I had somebody check it out for me that says, Mario, nope. The internet does not have an answer for you. Good afternoon. What labor unions were on St. Croix in 1922?
United Federation of the name of I'm getting a blank here, man.
You guess it, man. You guess it. You guess it.
Yeah, I guess it.
You guess it. And so far you guess it wrong, so you got to wheel and come again. You know, I think I finally got one here that will stop all of you. Because just like I was told on this is, Mario, I don't think they're going to find an answer to this one on the internet. I don't think so. You know, and so far, nobody's even close. Good afternoon. What are the name of the labor unions in existence on the island of St. Croix in 1922?
The Federation of Teachers and the Steelworkers.
Wheel and come again. Beloved, I think we got them this time. I think we got them this time. You know, because, beloved, everybody is guessing. That's what telling me that everybody is guessing. They really don't know. And so it's like I was told on Sunday, Mario, you ain't gonna find the answer to this in the internet. Oh no, you're not going to find it. And so, beloved, I don't think you are going to be able to answer this one. And well, I don't know. Could I give some hints? Well, let me do this. See how this will help you. See how this will help you. All right. Beloved, let me check this card first. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is it the St. Croix Labor Union?
That's one. Maybe two more.
Oh, there need two more?
Yes.
Oh, I
There
didn't-
were
okay,
three.
I'm sorry.
There were three labor unions of St. Croix in 1922. St. Croix Labor Union was one. The names of the other two is what we asking.
I got the name of the two labor unions. The St. Croix AMC 92. Funny, your arm thing. You look at none of them in there. The St. Croix AMC and the Steel Union.
Beloved, wheel and come again. Wheel and come again.
I got some scratch to check.
But I am going to give a little hint. You know, matter of fact, the St. Croix Labor Union president, I think we all know, was David Hamilton Jackson. Now, a man named Morris Davis was the head of another union. And a man named Ralph DeChabert was the head of another union. So if you know what was the name of the union that Morris Davis was leading, well, that would be a big help. If you know the name of the union that Mr. Ralph DeChabert was head of, then you would have the three of them. Because it would be David Hamilton Jackson, Morris Davis, and Ralph DeChabert. Those were the three heads. So you tell me, what was the name of the union that Morris Davis was the head of? What was the name of the union that Ralph DeChabert was the head of? I think you're not going to find that on the internet. And so I finally have been able to stump you, and you can't come up with an answer, even though I'm giving you that kind of help. Morris Davis was a member of the St. Croix Labor Union, and he, well, he had ambition of his own, and he was able to come up with a labor union that he was the head of, Morris Davis. Then the third one was Mr. Ralph DeChabert. Beloved, Ralph DeChabert at one time was actually the vice president of the St. Croix Labor Union. So that you could see that both Morris Davis and Ralph DeChabert came out of the St. Croix Labor Union, and without a jealousy or just plain ambition or whatever you tell me, they actually came up with their own union to challenge the St. Croix Labor Union. And truly, it signified the beginning of the end of the successes of the St. Croix Labor Union, because things went downhill from then It didn't exactly fall apart at one time, but it wasn't as successful as it had been when it was the one and only labor union at St. Croix. Being challenged by these two other unions, well, it wasn't as successful as it had been. So let us see if you could tell us what was the name of the union that Morris Davis had? What was the name of the union that Bradley Chabert had? Help us out and tell us. Because, beloved, we are now down to, well, the last 4 minutes before, let me see. Good afternoon to you.
There you go. Give it a go again, Mario.
Try your best.
St. Croix Labor Union, Virgin Islands Labor Union, and the trade union.
No, you were guessing and you didn't guess right. You got to wheel and come again. All right. Unfortunately, beloved, I don't know what we're going to do with this one here, but beloved, let me see how I could give you a hint as to, well, one of these unions came from the States, and it was very peculiar because in the United States, this union was very, very prejudiced, racist, really. And no Black people were allowed to be a part of this union. Yet, because they understood that they could have a hand in destroying the successful St. Croix Labor Union, they actually gave Mr. Hold on. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, Mario.
Tell me.
I will try again.
Yeah.
St. Croix Labor Union, the United Steel Workers Union, and the Teachers Union.
No. We had come again. Listener, let me put it this way. The American Federation of Labor was one of these two new labor unions. Who was the head of it?
Is that the name, the head of it?
I trying to help you out. Yeah,
What is about the next fellow? When you're there?
All right. Let me help you there. Morris Davis.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we down to one more to go. The American Federation of Labor was a very racist labor union in the United States. Black people could not be a part of it. And yet, they gave Mr. Morris Davis a charter to open a branch of the St. Croix American Federation of Labor. So we got two of the three now. The St. Croix Labor Union is one, head by David Hamilton Jackson. The other one was the American, excuse me. The other one was the American Federation of Labor that was headed up by Morris Davis. So we have two of them named, St. Croix Labor Union, American Federation of Labor. No, because we're just about out of time. The other one was led by none other than Ralph Deshabert. Now, I am going to give you part of the name of the union. If you give me the full name of the union, you are a winner. The third labor union name was the St. Croix Cooperative Black. It was led by Ralph Deshabert. That was the name of the union. The St. Croix Cooperative Black. Fill in that blank and you are a winner. What was it? The St. Croix Cooperative what? What was that blank? St. Croix. Wheel and come again. But you're trying good. Beloved, it's St. Croix Cooperative Black. Tell me what it is that we're missing. This is Ralph Deshabert Union. The St. Croix Cooperative Black. What was that blank? Boy, I really got you today. I really got you out today, Bishop. You know. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Brother Mario, I would say the blank was the St. Croix Cooperative Plantation Labor Union.
No, just one word, just one word, just one word.
Oh, just one word. Okay.
St. Croix Cooperative Black.
Okay, the St. Croix Cooperative Labor Union.
We then come again. You still use two words. I tell you one.
Oh,
But no, it ain't labor union. No, it ain't labor union. It ain't labor union. We then come again.
Okay, right.
St. Croix Cooperative Black. One word. And the word starts with an S. How is that? I can't give you more clue than that. The word starts with an S. St. Croix Cooperative what? Good afternoon. Welcome.
Cooperative store.
No, wheel and come again, but it's a S. It's a S. Wheel and come again. St. Croix Cooperative Black. And that word starts with an S. Lord Harry the judge, man. Are you giving me a hard time to get this thing away? Nobody here on the train. Good afternoon. What is the word I'm looking for?
A union.
I say S. S. Union no start with a S.
Oh, no, okay, I didn't hear that part about it.
Yeah. It starts with an S. It starts with an S. St. Croix Cooperative Blank. And that word, one word, it starts with an S.
Boom.
We done come again. Beloved. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. You understand? I am trying to get this thing away, and nobody don't want it. St. Croix Cooperative Blank. What is the word that I am looking for? It starts with an S. Help me out. St. Croix Cooperative what? Help me out. What's the word I'm looking for?
Society.
There you go. There you go. St. Croix Cooperative Society. That was a union led by Ralph Dishabert. And so, beloved, we got us a winner. The three labor unions on the island of St. Croix in 1922 was the St. Croix Labor Union, led by David Hamilton Jackson. The American Federation of Labor, led by Morris Davis, and the St. Croix Cooperative Society, led by Ralph D. Chabert. Now, one more time, give me your full name, and I think I know it.
Reverend Deland.
I thought I knew that name. Oh my Lord. How is it some people pay such attention to these things and others don't? And you're the wrong reason, man, aren't you not?
That's correct.
That's correct,
Yeah.
he said.
That's
So
correct.
how I could remember and you don't remember, but you are quite a scholar. You do well. You do well. Wrong reason,
Yes, sir.
beloved. The winner is Clifford the Land, and the three unions are the St. Croix Labor Union, the American Federation of Labor, and the St. Croix Cooperative Society. That's it. Congratulations to you, Mr. Deland, and you continue to impress me as you are quite a scholar. Congratulations. Enjoy your robberies and ice cream.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
You're very welcome. There you go, beloved. I finally stumped all of you. And I did learn on something, I asked somebody who know a lot about the internet, and I asked them, I said, you think you can find it? And I said, let me see. And they search and I said, Mario, I don't think anybody can give the answer to this one here, Mr. This here is not available on the internet. And here we are. Here we are indeed. And beloved, let me just say, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Mario, you're back to last lap now?
No, after the break.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll hold on.
Okay, hold on. beloved, and this is the last lap. This is the last lap, and what a day it's been. What a day it's been. So we got a car on hold. Let's go there and bring him in. Good afternoon. You're still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back.
Yes, quickly. I know that you were involved in horse racing back in the day.
Yes.
But was it beholden to St. Christ only, or did
Yes,
you do
yes.
St. Thomas and
No,
Tortola?
no. I did not make it to St. Thomas. I did not make it to St. Thomas. I'd be lying if I said so. No, I did not.
Okay, so
Rudy Schulterbrand was my trainer. And I had two thoroughbreds. One was named Stormy Weather, and the other was Fair Weather.
yeah,
Stormy Weather was a bay, Fair Weather was a chestnut.
Yeah, I remember the names, and of course I know of Rudy Schulterbrand in that stead.
Yeah.
But the reason I asked and even extended to Tortola is because I heard a senator on a talk show said that on St. Thomas you can't even get a $2 bet because there's no pari-mutuel. And when I heard him say that, I said to myself, seemingly because of his age, then he don't know nothing about man-to-man betting. He don't know in Tortola to screw a bag full of cash. We used to be betting $20,000 and upwards. So you probably don't know about that. I don't know if you ever heard about that type of betting.
Yes, I've heard a whole lot more than that. Yes, about the dollar.
Oh,
yes.
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 The highest one I've seen was $175,000 bet.
Yeah.
Cash. Okay? On Tortola.
Yeah.
Throw the bag full of money. What parameter out there?
Yeah. I don't know. So,
You know?
but
Yeah.
again, but horse racing, I know horse racing brings out the best in a lot of men in my son. We love to bet
Oh, yeah.
we love to bet on horses.
I have lost my shirt and many of it.
Yeah.
I had to go home and back.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Well, anyway, I'll continue. Somebody else might have something to say.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, beloved, and talking about the horse racing, we had quite an informative and enlightening discussion with the horse racing individuals here from was between the hours of 1 and 3 o'clock. And beloved, I could only wish them well. And on behalf of all of my beloved audience, we really, 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 hope and pray that our horsemen could get it together, hold one head, and go up against the Southland Gaming, Government House, and the legislature of the Virgin Islands to get to get this horse racing issue solved once and for all. Because, beloved, when it comes to horse racing in these islands, I mean, I don't think that there's any argument to be made. Everybody would agree that St. Croix is the base, the core of horse racing. And again, so what you want about St. Thomas or Tortola, whatever you want, all of them, you would still have to come back to agree that yes, St. Croix has the facilities. St. Croix has the mile racetrack. 1 mile, 8 furlongs. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you for your call. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, so hi, Mario.
Yes, dear.
So this is, this is Miss Barnes. I'm calling from, Mount Pleasant, where we're doing the rebuild of the construction. So the construction is happening for the rebuild of Junior High of the A. Richards. So I'm calling here today because it's a continuous situation that we've been going through, and I guess there needs no ending. So this is what we're facing. So we're still going through the dust, even after we had a report up, they were wetting the road and all of that,
Yeah.
And they were assuring to be doing the right thing. That was also. They went right back into doing the same thing, no wetting the road and dusting us out and everything. Of course, these things have worn me down, but, it's hard to maintain focus going through these things. And what I realize now, our health is actually in effect. We've seen the symptoms after breathing in a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time of breathing in that stuff. And if these things have been inflicted in my home, it's in there, and then having to breathe in that fresh stuff, it is poisonous right now to the point that I just have a fire burning in my system that doesn't go away, some kind of inflammation going on, and then the happy grandchildren, oh my God, they're suffering. Right now they're taking a nap, and there's a 5-year-old, she has froth in her mouth, and all of them is snoring hard. They wake up, they got bumps. How could every child wake up with a bump on their neck? How? Big bump. I take them to the ER, which I got to follow up with the healthcare provider.
Yeah.
We have appointments this month and all of that. But what I'm saying is that it's a game they're playing, Mario.
Yeah.
And this is not something that they do not know, meaning those in charge, contractors and the government,
Yeah.
they know what's going on. And, because they're inhabiting this behavior. Come on, think about it.
Yeah.
The trucks don't drive themselves. And the drivers taking orders, and I'm tired of seeing the mind game they're playing with our health. Right now, the damage is done, and the system is poisonous. When we use the water, we get an oral sore, we got in rashes. Right now, we got in all the symptoms. I've done my medical research of what could a human body, be being affected by dust for so long, be going through. And listen, it'll make my blood run because I'm going through all the symptoms. We still battle them up to this day. These people have never done anything for us. They'll be violated. I haven't. And recorded. I don't know who they think they are, that they can continue to just dust us out like that, because that's the way they operate. Like, they can just do this.
Yeah.
We paint this picture for our image already. And the big, nice, shiny truck, like, they're not, the road, the truck is always clean. And the truck is always dusty as it. More recent, we got videos.
Yeah.
2026. I can't hear, we can't breathe.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've been stressing this. I've been stressing to the point, I've been telling them, I have children here, we have allergens to dust. It's in black and white. These children are suffering. They don't understand why they're suffering, but they know why they're suffering from.
Yeah.
They used to tell me none of the truck coming down, and they would tell me when they're coming home from school, even recent, Mario, last week. None of the, when we were coming home, I'm walking down the truck dust us out. I'm tired of my daughter before she graduated. She's telling me the same thing, Mommy, when I was walking down, the truck dust me out. This is ongoing, and we're being affected right now. The damage is done, and after reading up on all of that, breathing in these particular dust, there's no healing from that.
Yeah.
And someone is responsible, Mario, and they need to take action. They need to cut to the chase. Because our life is on the line here.
Yeah.
My son at the time, I told him he has mental illness, and what he do one morning, he get up, got a rope, and hang himself in the back of the yard in the tree. And these people don't understand what they're doing to us, or I think they do. They don't care, and because it's just one house, one family in the corner is suffering.
Yeah.
I think they think it's okay. That's not okay. You're building a school where children are suffering in a home due to the construction. That is not our fault.
understand? They are violators. They litter, they busting us out. They look the open field. And it's after the damage is done, after they bust me out, they put a big mesh up. And Mario, I'm thankful for that mesh. But why didn't they think about this in the beginning? Because you can see in that corner, that person would suffer under our construction, but they didn't care. It's just one. It's just one person, Mario. You know?
Well, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did not give up, and you're still here. You know, but again, this might add to your frustration. But I have to be, you know, as honest as I always been on talk radio. That's why, you know, I've been here for over 50 years because I don't tell lies. And my beloved, this is the result of the system of government that we have allowed to exist here in the Virgin Islands. What I am going to say to you, you know, is just going to add to your frustration. But see, we have 7 district senators on the island of St. Croix. District senators. They all represent the same one district of St. Croix. So they basically are at large St. Croix senators. The Constitution of the United States says there should not be more than one representative per district. Meaning that however many districts you have on St. Croix, it is supposed to be divided so that every district is represented by one senator. One senator that you could hold accountable. So that where you live, you should have a senator that you could hold accountable.
Exactly.
But the system that they have in place and continue to hold in place does not allow for any senator to be held accountable. That's the way I like it. And that's the way they want to keep it. But nowhere else in the world can you find a system like this. That's the point, is that every area of St. Croix supposed to have a district senator that is accountable for that district. That you only campaign in that district. You only get your votes from that district. You're accountable to that district. So that you having that problem could have gone straight to that senator's office and said, hey, if you don't do something about it, I am going to let everybody in this district know how you are ignoring the problem. And right away they're going to...
We're taking it there. We're taking it there. I have some fires up. We're taking it there. They're pushed us to the point. We have no choice. They affected our lives for far too long and did nothing than continue to violate. You understand? We're human beings.
Yes.
We're family here.
Yes.
And our lives matter. And someone is accountable, and someone needs to be held accountable for this. You understand? This is our life. You understand? After breathing in this is long time issues we have here, and there's no cure for these kind of things. You understand? That I know I'll be facing because I'm already experiencing. You know.
Yes. Well, they have allowed. We allow the system to continue where we don't have any way of holding these senators accountable. And I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Continue with the fight. And you could call here, you know, as long as somebody you could call here, we talk about it because they're set up good for not mislead us. They are, and our senators, my dear, our senators make $85,000 a year. Do you realize the governor of Puerto Rico is holding like $70,000 a year? And our senators make more money than the governor of Puerto Rico who is governor of more than 3.5 million people. That is how corrupt our system is. And we allow it. And nobody's accountable. So then look at the problem that you and your family is going through. And there's no one that you could hold accountable.
Far too long we've been suffering, you know, and it makes sense why they continue the malicious act.
Yes.
By intent. It's all intentional because they know they can get away with these things. But guess what? We're going to be at the government house. Our lives is already affected. Our issues is already here due to our long time suffering and bringing this stuff, which is not our fault. Someone is going to speak.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Our health.
That's right.
We're going to be there. Me and the grandchildren who's suffering.
Yes.
All in black and white. They have no respect for the doctor either.
Yes.
Because it's in black and white. And they continue to suffer us. That's why I'm telling you with all the respect, Mario, I've never voted. Because it don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. But I'm going to tell you what will make sense. We're going to fight with every bone in our body. You understand? Because this is not right. This is something we're going to have to live with and face. Someone has to be responsible
Yes,
for
my
us
dear.
living that dust in our home.
Absolutely.
Not on the field, not on the street, Mario.
Yes.
In our home.
I hear you. I hear you.
And
And
every day we wake up to this.
I'm proud of you standing up to fight it. I am proud of you.
You know, it's unfair. It's unfair. And they have dragged it all the way down to this point. You know, so here we are. You know, because I have nothing to lose, Mario. And honestly, you know, it worth something fighting for because it's our life and our health. You know, I'm tired of hearing the children them suffering. I'm tired of rubbing them down and trying to make them well and get better when I know what they're suffering from.
Yes,
You know, and then these people want to pack up and go about their business and leave us. We have issues we didn't have. I don't think so, Mario. I don't think so.
I am proud of you.
We'll be there. Something has to be done. All of them know what's going on because Mr. Stan himself said he knows those guys have not been working the road. Oh, that disappoints me. That disappoints me. Come on, we've been in a school and we have suffered these children. We're causing these children health issues.
Yes.
We're giving them health problems they didn't have, they don't need. That don't sound right. And then we're going to build the school and everybody, all the children are going to come and smile and join and have fun, knowing that they suffer a family.
Yeah.
And then we have long-time issues because it's already in effect. So I know, and everything that I read upon, I'm telling you, Mario, I know.
We're proud of you. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
So this is what I have for them. You know, they need to stop the violation. It's not over. It's not over until it's over.
Yes,
They have brought it to this point. You know, they need to stop the violation. I'm telling you, Mario, they need to wet the road, which I know they're not going to do because they're playing games. Enough is enough of the violation, which you don't care about. It's a long time suffering. Stop the suffering and stop the pollution.
Yes.
You know, they need to stop all these things. They're violators. You are suffering us for too long, you know, and, you know, our lives matter. Someone needs to take action. You know, we've been bringing in harmful stuff, and it's all in effect. Enough is enough. Our health matters. You know, too many dust, too many dirt, chemicals breathing in for far too long.
Yes.
You're making us sick. You know, stop killing. Violators, come on, stop it. Someone needs to be held accountable. And Mario, I'm telling you.
Do what you have to. Do what you have to.
I have it here. There's one thing that I want them to know. You know, we are human beings. We're not fools. We're not machines either. You know, you're in total violation for far too long. You know, and this needs to stop. You know, and this is what it is. Violators need to really stop doing what they're doing. Someone needs to be held accountable. Take action. You know, you already affected our lives. Accountability. Someone needs to take that. It's just a task. It's tragedy.
Yeah.
And someone is responsible here. You understand? We're not going to try to figure it out, knowing that we have health issues and it's caused by the government and contractors. Someone is responsible here, Mario.
Don't give up, my dear. We are proud of you.
That's not right. You know?
Do what you have to do. And
Concentrate. Stop harming us. Stop the game. Stop the mind games. Come on, you people. Stop the mind games with our health. health and our lives. Stop the nonsense. Stop the pollution. You know, the damage is done.
We are proud of you. You keep on keeping on.
Responsibility. We need better health care. Health care is needed. Compensation. We need that. You know, who is responsible for such criminal acts?
Yes, sir. Well, our
Mario,
program
I
is.
appreciate you and thanks for having me. It's not over, Mario.
I am proud of you, and any which way that we can help, we are here for you.
I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay strong. Stay strong. Yes, sir. All right.
Appreciate it. Thank
All right.
you.
And beloved, we are at the end. We are at the end. And so all we can say to you, beloved, is you know how the stress relief go. Lick your cream, because I'm some ice cream is just so good for your soul. Now we can say to you, beloved, it don't matter how big a basket they give. One man, we could put up any basket just as long as we do it together.